Oh, folks. Now, I know that you all have been waiting for this video for quite some time. I'm terribly sorry. It's been crazy around here. I have got my NaNoWriMo. I'm in the last 10,000 word stretch. I think I'm actually at like 7,500 words left on the competition. And quite frankly, it's a daunting task. I've got Caesar back in Rome from Egypt, and this is pretty much the last, 1 or 2 years of his life, and it's getting tough. It's getting tough. Let me tell you, writing historical fiction is not as easy as one would think. I mean, true, you've got all of your major plot points taken care of, but it's the filling in of those, in between those plot points that's really a pain in the ass. But anyways, so Kathleen Zellner's scientific testing motion was granted. Yay! This is really exciting for many reasons, not the least of which being, fuck you, Manitowoc. But here's where I'm having an issue, and this was actually brought up in my group on Facebook quite a few times today. Only 9 pieces of evidence are being allowed to be tested. The Attorney General of Wisconsin is blocking Kathleen Zellner from testing the vast majority of the items. Let's go through this article. Again, link below. You know me. Big developments in case behind Netflix's true crime documentary, Making a Murderer. Last week, we learned that Stephen Avery's post-conviction lawyer, Kathleen Zellner, and the state of Wisconsin had come to an agreement on what pieces of evidence from Avery's trial could and could not be tested. Now we get to learn what exactly is on that list. While the actual agreed testing order documents still haven't made their way onto the internet due to the Thanksgiving weekend, John Furak, love you, man, of Post Crescent USA Today got his hands on it. There's 7 items of blood evidence pulled from murder victim Teresa Halbach's RAV4, namely blood flakes under the central console, a blood stain on the driver's seat, and a blood stain on the passenger seat. The flakes themselves and cuttings of the blood stains will all go for testing. Then there are swabs of blood pulled from the RAV4 ignition area, the rear passenger's door, and a CD case found in the front passenger seat. Last but not least, a swab used on the RAV4 hood latch that tested positive for Avery's DNA will also be tested. Now, here's where I have an issue. Those are all great pieces of evidence, and a lot can be told from those pieces of evidence, which is really, really cool. I'm actually super excited to see what comes from that. But this next piece of the article is what really burns my biscuits, kids. Let's go through this. Actually, sorry, kids. I got a little ahead of myself. I had to move some shit around. But let's see here. Move that. Outside of the vehicle, the controversial 1996 vial of Avery's blood his trial lawyers claimed was used to plant his DNA in the RAV4 will also be subjected to a battery of tests. Finally, the spare key and lanyard for the vehicle found by Manitowoc County Sheriff's deputies James Link and Andrew Colburn in Avery's home will also be re-examined. This is huge. The key itself is a big deal for several reasons. I wish I could extol what I feel is going to come out of that specific kind of testing, but I really can't. Just because I don't know the kind of test that she's going to be subjecting that specific item to. So, can't wait. Okay, so while it's fantastic, I'm sorry there was a skip there. My computer decided to take a shit in the middle of me recording. So while it's fantastic, all these pieces of evidence are amazing, and it's going to be really interesting to see the results of these tests. Here's where I have an issue. Let's go further down in the article. While Kathleen Zellner told USA Today it's encouraging that the Attorney General's office was so cooperative and helpful in expediting these tests, it's worth noting that the state refused to allow testing for many of the items included in her motion for scientific testing. This includes things in the RAV4 that were never tested at all, like the hood prop bar, interior hood release latch, several battery cables, a broken blinker light, and a lug wrench found inside the trunk. Zellner also wanted to try and pull DNA from fingerprints on the RAV4 using a new technique not available in 2007. But it gets even thicker than that, kids, even worse. Other pieces of evidence not being retested, the pelvic bone, used to identify charred material on Avery's property as Teresa Halbach's remains. Kids, those remains were never definitively identified as Teresa Halbach's. I just want to say that again for the fucking record. The RAV4 license plate and a pair of purple thong underwear recovered from the Avery salvage yard and the bullet fragments found in Stephen Avery's garage. So here's the thing. Well, and it says here, it seems like his legal team was limited largely to blood samples and the three pieces of evidence most likely to have been tampered with: the hood latch, the RAV4 key, and the blood vial. Here's my thing though, kids. Here's where I'm having the issue. Schimmel has the same amount of egotism that you find in Ken Kratz, which, is not even really that surprising. But here's where I have the issue. Kratz, in the original trial, claimed that his case was so fucking slam dunk. Ooh, got all kinds of weirdness going on here. This is what happens when you smoke, but you prefer black, is it like you wind up with all kinds of shit all over your shirt. Kratz claimed that his case was so slam dunk that there was no way that anybody other than Stephen Avery committed this. However, Schimmel's making this same claim. If it's such a slam dunk, Schimmel, why are you barring the defense from testing certain items? And how the fuck is that being allowed? Is what I want to know. I searched all through the case file. I looked everywhere, and that's why this video took so fucking long, is I wanted to understand what precedents Schimmel has, or the state of Wisconsin has, to bar Kathleen Zellner from testing these items. I wanted to see if I could find, whatever it was that they filed with the court to say, no, we don't want her to test this shit. And I didn't find anything. I didn't find a goddamn word of it. So it's going to be interesting when this agreement hits the internet. It's going to be very interesting to me, because then we should get some kind of an explanation. But regardless of whatever explanation they give, I don't see any practical reason why that's not being allowed. Because if the state is so convinced that Stephen Avery is guilty, why would you not want that confirmed by telling the defense, go ahead, test everything. By all means, prove us right. It's not costing the state any money. It's not, it's really not a violation of any kind of civil laws or human rights laws or anything like that. So I don't get it. I don't understand what legal precedents the state of Wisconsin is using to bar her from testing the vast majority of this evidence. It makes no fucking sense. None whatsoever goddamn ever. What are you hiding, Schimmel? Huh? Who are you protecting? Because the thing is, kids, is that the very fact that they are not allowing the majority of the evidence to be tested is proof. It's proof that whatever is going on here is something big and it's being hidden. It's proof that they know that Stephen Avery and Brendan Dassey are innocent, but they are trying like fuck to not allow that fact to come out. The problem is that even with the small amount of evidence that Kathleen Zellner is being allowed to test, there's still a very high probability that all of it is going to come out anyway. You're not minimizing the damage, Wisconsin. You're not. In fact, you're making it worse. You're making yourselves look like the jackass that you are. Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh my God. This coupled with the bullshit from Schimmel going to the Seventh Circuit Court to bar Brendan Dassey from being released, that was fucking cruel, Schimmel. That was some straight up schoolyard bully bullshit. How dare you? Taking away a young man's hope like that. What the? Oh, dude, there's a special layer of hell waiting for you. Karma is a bitch, and she barely tolerates us. So, I can't wait to see you get your comeuppance. This is going to be so fabulous. All right, kids. So I am going to keep monitoring. I'm going to keep looking and see if I can find any fucking shit regarding why and how the state of Wisconsin was able to bar Kathleen Zellner from testing the remainder of the evidence. So in the meantime, don't forget to subscribe to me here on YouTube. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter, Mama Phoenix 6. And if you boogie on over to the About page here on my channel, you'll find everything from my Pinterest boards to my blog to my Facebook fan page. Thank you all very much for watching, and we'll see you soon.